Jaeden Michael Gonzalez, a man, gonna be 19 years old. There's a lot of stuff that I want to say, and there's a lot of things that I will not say, because obviously the relationship dynamics that we are currently dealing with are not necessarily the best for either of us. And being that I raised you from birth, I bathed you, I clothed you, I supported you, I comforted you, I made you your chocolate milky, put in the microwave for 5 seconds. I trained you, I prepared you for life. I taught you things that will be forever needed. I provided a safe space for you. I pushed you, I motivated you, I coached you, I prepared you for big moments. I prepared you for life. I prepared you for the reality that you will step into life and be on your own someday. And here we are. Now, despite what has happened or what continues to take place, I'm not interested in talking or discussing that. I'm here as your father, as a man talking to another man now, trying to give you something that you lost because of all of this, which was that transition from a teenager to a young adult. You missed that window with me being out of your life. Now, when you were 5 years old, Jay, we were getting ready for your first football season. And I told your mom, I'm going to train him in the morning at 5 a.m. And of course, she wasn't happy about it. She argued with me and we got into it a little bit. But when I told you about it, you know what you said? You said, okay, Dad, wake me up. And it was at that moment where the amount of how much I was going to push you was determined right there, because you were okay with it. Fast forward to you getting older, you going to the gym, starting to train early, you doing extra conditioning, you doing all the things above average. Didn't you win a basketball championship? Didn't you win a football championship? Didn't you participate and always were a competitor, if not the best? Did you not go into tournaments and perform at an MVP caliber? Were you not instilled in school to do your work and to stay on track and to be respectful and to be honorable? Were you not given all of those qualities, Jay? We both can agree on this one little thing. Because I was hard on you, and because I was a hammer, I was only a hammer with you. Jarek didn't get the same version of me. Mia didn't get the same version of me. I was just a hammer at one point in my early development as a father. And because of that, you lacked confidence because I was more dominant with you. Now, that carried over into your life, into other areas, and your overall development athletically. But it's also now carrying over to your behavior and how you are as a young adult. Now, I'm not going to justify or say what you're doing is right or wrong. I'm going to go based off of the times and the interactions I've had with you, the little to none of respect you've given me without communicating with me, without talking to me, without you being a man and taking that responsibility and saying, hey, you know what? I think I'm old enough and mature enough to talk with my dad and to find out what really is going on, because I'm strong enough and I'm confident enough to take place in something like that. Not because I'm trying to force you, which is the case right now, which I'm not going to force you. If you want to go down this path and live life to your best abilities and throw out all the stuff that I've given you 15 years prior to all this shit happening, if you want to do that, Jay, go ahead. That's you. That's your free will. God gave you your own spirit to perform and to live how you see fit. I'm not going to hold your hand in this scenario, because at the end of the day, it's still going to be just your decision, no matter what. Now, you hear me out, we talk, we communicate, and you realize that everything that I've been saying since the beginning of all this shit wouldn't happen with Journey, even prior to that, because you could vouch for this. When have I ever led you astray, Jay? When have I ever given you false information or put you in situations where I didn't think you could overcome it? When did I ever lie to you? When did I ever try to cheat you or try to convince you to do something wrong that wasn't in your best interest? How many times have I ever done that in your life? You're gonna say none. And chances are most of the things that I've told you in your life growing up are the truth and have been the truth till this day with everything, Jay. When I tell you all of the accusations and the bullshit that was created and the situation of how it unfolded, it's not the truth. Because grandma wants to instigate it and because the CPS instigated, that's what they do. That's how they create the system to do this. But no one wants to believe me. You don't want to believe me. You don't want to hear me out. And it's okay because you want receipts. You want to see what happens. And then maybe you'll believe me. But I'm trying to explain to you that this is bigger than just our situation with Journey and Genesis and the situation of me being charged for this. All of that is only a stepping stone because my life has dramatically changed to put me in a situation that I never would have been in if I wouldn't have gone through this. I can't sit here and pretend like this is all bad because what I know now and what I'm capable of doing and what I will do with my family and then with other families to assist, you're gonna see that this was part of my mission. And I don't expect you to get it or anybody else to get it because it's not for them. But I'm still your dad at the end of the day. No matter what happens, I'm still your father. I'm still the one that will always want the best for you no matter what. And if you choose and elect off of your own conscious mind to not communicate and not talk with me and not associate with me, Jay, that's on you. I'll respect you. But you do that as a man. You don't do this as, oh, grandma's doing this, saying this stuff to me. Now I believe her. Oh, my mom has said this stuff about you and acts this way about you and says this and that. We're not talking about other people. You're influenced by people that are giving you false information, Jay. You can't be gullible. You got to think. You got to be a critical thinker. You have to process information on your own for yourself. And you have to take the necessary steps to achieve that and to accomplish that. And it takes a different version of you. It's going to take an alpha male masculinity energy to come out of you, which this is where and why I'm doing this, because we can't even communicate because of the friction between us. And that friction, Jay, it's an illusion. It's an illusion, son. And I really hope that this gets to you. I said, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not trying to make you believe me or anything of that sort. Just know that at the end of the day, I'm your father. I want the best for you. I'm going to pursue what I'm pursuing to achieve victory. And you, Jay, you know me. I will not lose. However long this takes, I will not lose because this is all a part of the growth process. And sometimes we encounter things in our lives that force us to grow, force us to mature, force us to have to step up. And this is the same scenario for me and for you. And because of that, I just want to make sure that you and I, because you're your own man now, Jay, you're your own person. And we have to get past this. You can't think that, oh, we're going to be enemies for the rest of our lives and you're never going to want to talk to me, never going to want to see me, never going to want to engage with me. Like, that's crazy. And if you have that thought process already, you got to know that there's something wrong. There's something wrong. It doesn't work that way. That's not operating in love. That's not operating in God's favor. And if you don't see that, son, well then, you know what? We have a lot of growing up to do still. And that's okay. And I hope that this message finds your heart because I'm talking to you from my heart as your father. And although I may be a certain way and I may produce a certain energy, I still love you. I still care about you. I'm still going to do what's best for you. No matter what would happen in your life, I'm going to always drop everything to be there for you. And the thing about it is, Jay, is you know that. You know me, Jay. And you know how I have been with you, how I have been with Jarek, how I have been with all of my kids. I love you guys. I give you guys discipline. I guide you guys in the direction and the path that I feel would be best for you guys to develop. Imagine if you participated in what I was trying to get you to do before all this happened. Waking up every day, sun exposure, limiting your screen exposure, stretching, exercise daily, eating properly, having your fruit and juices for breakfast, eating good nutritious items in your daily life, training, reading, everything was balanced. You don't think you would be better off if you were still in that same predicament? And this is where it's like everybody wants to team up against me because nobody wants to change themselves. And because I'm in a position of I don't want to be, this is again, this is bigger than what it is. And I don't want to get too into this because it's a lot. I just want you to know I love you. I care about you. I miss you a lot. And I miss Jarek a lot. And I hope that we can communicate soon. I really do. I love you, son.